address.
We don't tell them live either.
I know. That's why I just did that.
Yeah, of course. I'm not going to say anything. Nobody's on yet anyway, so that's good. So get started for our show here in just a couple of minutes. We are on location at Backyard Dreams here around the Stillwaters area. And, man, you want to talk about an awesome place. Mm-hmm. This is like the grills, the outdoor kitchens, as you can see the one behind us here. Man, I don't know what else you would want in your outdoor living space. And, I mean, look at all the appliances on that one behind us.
It's making me want to learn how to grill.
Learn how to grill? Mm-hmm. The best thing to do is just let somebody grill, and then you take all the stuff off of it.
That's exactly what I do.
That's right.
Seeing all of this, it makes me
you kind of want to do it yourself. So we're going to talk a lot more about what they've got. They do outdoor furniture, cabinetry, countertops, turnkey outdoor kitchens. That means it's all done. They come in, design it, put it in, and they walk away, and you're ready to go. So, I mean, it's pretty awesome. I can.
My dad would say it's pretty jam up.
Is that what he would say?
It is what he
would say. I can see that. You don't want to jam your finger on it, but it is jam up. So there's a lot of things over there you can jam your finger on. Trust me. Just get it shut up on there. So grills, countertops, all kind of stuff. But anyway, we are glad to be here. We got 30 seconds. We'll be live for TV. Obviously, a lot to talk about, Faith, on the show. We were at Ambush last night, and some comments and quotes from Coach Freeze and Coach Thompson, and we'll just talk about all of it here in just a little bit. We had a good discussion on the podcast this morning, so we'll get into that pretty hot and heavy here in just a little bit for TV. What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and
Cincy Green for air that's cool and clean. Call on Cincy Green.
And Wade's supposed to be here at some point in time. I don't know where he is. I'm starting to worry about him a little bit. Anyway, hopefully Wade will blow on up in here pretty soon. And but we're at Backyard Dreams today, and this isn't our first trip to Backyard Dreams. We were here. What, about a month and a half ago, you said?
Yeah, about a month and a half ago.
I can't keep up all these dates anymore.
Me either, but I do remember that day because I did get to talk to Riley Green that day.
You did. You got an interview with Riley Green on the tour bus, and it was a great day. Man, there were so many people here. Parking lot's full today. I mean, this place is hopping down here, and but we're glad that Lynn, the owner of Backyard Dreams, allowed us to come in and do our show from here. Eric McKinley obviously helped us get this lined up as well with everything. We've been to the grocery store now, been down to Tessa's shop, been to Stillwaters, and now we're here at Lynn's at Backyard Dreams. And if you're looking for an outdoor kitchen or living space or anything like that, this is the place to go. You need to come in here and check it out. It's right here, just up from the gate to Stillwaters on Highway 49, and in the shopping center area here with the grocery store and Big Fish Real Estate and Mortgage Pro and all those places. So we're glad to be here. Lynn's going to join us here in the next segment. So we'll dive more into what they have here in this store. And, man, it is gorgeous. It's just worth your time to come down here and check it out. If you are even remotely thinking about doing some type of outdoor living space, you need to come out here. Faith, again, yesterday we were down at Willow Point at the Ambush event for the Lake Martin Auburn Club, and it's always one of the most attended events of any of the ambushes. Slammed last night. It was sold out. Had Coach Freeze there, A.D. Cohen, the new women's basketball coach, Coach Vickers, Butch Thompson, and Stephen Pearl there, and we all got to go in before it started and kind of have a closed media session with them. You posted our videos last night when you got home, and so you can go out there on YouTube and check that out. And we had a little recap as well, kind of summed up what we talked about. But I mean, it really boils down. I'm sure the whole show is going to be encompassed in what Coach Freeze and A.D. Cohen said yesterday about the state of the settlement that's coming down or that's been rendered by the House, and how that affects Auburn athletics moving forward.
Yeah, I think just with how new and everything, everything's been going, it's just there's a lot of learning that is still happening throughout all of this. And I thought it was interesting about how Butch was saying that, on the baseball side, that it was interesting seeing that the way the hour drive it takes to get from Auburn to Willow Point, he was like, what happened within that hour? And then the same thing of, okay, once I have this 2-hour period that I'm here, I'm going to get back on the phone and say what's happened, because there's so many changes that are happening.
We had some fans come up to us last night and say, this just isn't as enjoyable as it used to be. And they're not talking about the event. They're talking about the landscape of college athletics. You just talked about Butch Thompson. How's that fun for them? How is that? I mean, seriously, look, I know nobody on here is feeling sorry for a bunch of guys that make millions of dollars coaching a sport. I'm not going down that path. What I'm saying is, how is that fun for anybody to always constantly be looking over your shoulder, trying to keep up with the latest rule change, figure out how you're gonna handle this as opposed to the way you used to do it? I think a lot of people just want some type of consistency and something they can follow. But there are things coming up, the August 1st deadline that we're talking, or date that's not really a deadline, but a date that's going to open up, a window for people to be able to verbally or have the deal in open space so you can see what it is. And then, of course, the signing date will still be in December. But I'm going to dive into something a little bit further here in just a minute and kind of break down what, John Cohen and you three said. My phone's blown up with Auburn fans saying, I ain't really buying it, Faith. And that, look, you and I, as, part of the media and coming out and doing a podcast, and, we usually cut it, we cut straight to the chase and we tell it like we see it. We felt pretty confident in their confidence in the room, but I can definitely see where people are like, nah, man, ain't buying that. Why aren't we doing better right now in the current setup? I mean, I get it. I understand it.
I don't have an answer to that because I think it's okay to feel both ways. And the thing is if you don't have trust in your coaches and you don't have trust in the ADs, then you're going to feel uneasy like that. And the thing is they know so much more than we do, and they're doing more to learn than we even have accessible to us people. So, I mean, the only thing we can do and that I can do is just trust that what they're saying is true, and that's what it is.
And I agree with you. On the other hand, I worry that, in the our rivals and fans of our against us out there are always going to find ways to poke holes. We do it too. Alabama and Georgia and LSU ourselves. But when you look at it from a standpoint of if you are trying to do it right, and I'm not casting stones at anybody, but if you are trying to do it right, I'm more concerned about the governing body policing people that maybe aren't going to do it right. And then if you're trying to do it right, what's going to happen is you're going to be way behind the 8 ball, and you're going to be left holding the bag, no pun intended, and everybody else is going to be just moving on forward like nothing happened. They're going to say, see, told you so. You should have been doing what we were doing. Because you and I have heard a lot of stuff from coaches, and there is no question there's some people out there saying things to kids that they're not going to be able to live up to, and they're not going to be able to back up some offers and things. But I'm just concerned that you try to take the good boy approach and it ends up backfiring on you.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of between. Is it even the NCAA that is going to be able to? Is it the NCAA that who's punishing people that aren't?
I mean, this new sports commission that's been formed. There's a new sports commission that's been formed. There's NIL Go. that's in place now where, again, we'll go through some of the comments from John Cohen from last night again. I think that's what people are a little apprehensive about. They're saying, okay, hold on a minute. You're saying you're the only school out there trying to follow the rules and do things right. I see where it comes off a little bit, maybe abrasive to other fans in other schools. Now, if that is the truth, and I'm going to use USC because they're all the way on the other side of the country. They got 28 commitments right now.
Right.
I mean, everybody's got this same 20.5 salary cap. And again, that's for all sports. What are they doing with the current players on their roster? Are they going to pay them?
That's where I think the biggest question really comes into your roster management of who you're holding on to and who's important to you. And we dove really deep into that earlier this morning. But again, it's the question of the third party that John Cohen answered to us. And that sounded like they were sure of the NIL being a part of this salary cap and all the above. So are some schools not using that money as part of going into their whole salary cap, or are they? We don't know.
Here's one quote that we had from Coach Freeze last night. He said, you don't have the means, so to speak, to go after the number of high school receivers. He's just using one position group as an example. High school receivers that you would normally go after because you can't really. On paper, we aren't losing one, and I don't want to lose one. He said, I mean, it's hard to feel great, when you're not one of the top-ranked recruiting classes. I think Auburn should be, but I'm confident in our administration and the way they lead and trust them immensely that we're doing things the right way. But what he's saying is, right from a roster management standpoint, Faye, you do have a stacked wide receiver room. Did we want Sedarian Morgan? Let's just not beat around the bush. Did we want Sedarian Morgan at Auburn? 100%. There's no question about it. And Sedarian Morgan came out after his official visit and was quoted on 24/7 saying, Auburn, we sat down, we talked, and they weren't able to give me any specific numbers at this time. I will come back and listen to them in December. Now, he committed to Alabama yesterday, but it was very apparent that, Sedarian's mom talked. I saw some clips and things where she's like, this isn't going to stop the schools from calling, and it's not going to stop Sedarian from making trips in the fall to watch games either. So, and you're not signing anything until December. I'm just using him as an example because we're going to be around him a lot during the fall, during football season, obviously covering Benjamin Russell. But yeah, he's the number one player in the state. He's right up the road. You wanted him. But what Coach Freeze is talking about is that I can't go out and promise him something I can't deliver on in December. Right now, when we got a stacked wide receiver room that's one of the best in the country, it's number 2 by most recruiting services and by most publications out there in the country. The number 2, only behind Ohio State.
Right.
So he makes a good point. You got to be able to manage what you got.
He does. And I think that's something that a lot of people aren't taking into consideration, but also you have to think about this season, what's happening from now until December and who's leaving because Eric Singleton.
That's my point. Yeah. I mean, you got to kind of gauge all of that stuff.
Right.
You're going to lose 2 of those guys. Oh, now maybe you have the ability to go offer, a high school kid a little bit more money.
Because what do we think we tried to get Eric Singleton over for?
I mean, again, we talked about having a guy that's proven versus a guy that's unproven. And if they're both asking the same amount of money, I'm using a hypothetical here.
It's
true. It's a no-brainer, right? It's a no-brainer. So, again, these are all speculative things. I don't think anybody knows 100%. I do know that when you go get somebody out of the portal, Xavier Chaplin, Eric Singleton, they're already a proven player. You can also go get a very talented guy out of high school, but they haven't taken a snap in college yet. So it is a little bit more of a gamble. Some people need more of a surety, than or maybe need to be in a position to where they take somebody that's more proven at the time. Auburn needs to do that right now. They're trying to build their roster back. All right, we're up against a break here on the show. We will stay live, obviously, on social media, but stay tuned. Just getting started here on the Auburn Blitz right after this. All right, guys, we're at Backyard Dreams here in just, I guess it's Dayville. The address, Lynn, is it Dayville? I know we're just right outside of Stillwater's here, and glad to be here. And we're going to have Lynn jump up here with me here, and we'll get started here in just a little bit. Lynn, we're at commercial break right now. You come on over and take a seat, my man, in your chair.
I'm not going to get attacked, am I?
No. Well, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see
We
y'all.
were starting to worry a little bit.
We were.
I'm like,
We're running a little late, and I drove right past it and was down by Walnut Hill
okay.
looking around.
You made it back.
Wade, Lynn Winfrey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Wade
meet
Bennett.
you.
Yeah,
Nice
good
to meet
see
you.
man.
Wade works with Sense of Green,
Okay.
so he also works with us here
Got you.
on our show. He's the celebrity guest all the time. So, well, Lynn, while we're still up live, we got people watching. So kind of tell everybody, and we'll get back and kind of do it for TV as well. But just talk about the store and how it all came about. real
Yeah,
quick.
we, my wife and I, Tracy, started this journey about 3.5 years ago. During COVID, people was locked down. They couldn't get out. They couldn't go out and eat. They were shut down at home.
Right.
And I built houses for about 15 years with Riley's dad. You asked me how I had that connection.
Okay.
And Bo and I, we built houses together for about 15 years.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
I've known Riley pretty much his whole life, which made it unique because, like you said, you guys were at
You
the
watched
grand
him grow.
opening
You watched him grow
from
up.
3 years old.
Wow.
So,
How about that?
It's been exciting. You guys were here on the grand opening. He's always
And he was so nice.
and
Yep.
and to know what he did to be here that day makes you appreciate who he is. For him, he left Nashville that night at 11 o'clock and drove all night to be here for our grand opening.
Wow.
And that means a lot to us. And
Absolutely.
you saw the crowd. It helps get your name on the map pretty quick when you say,
Riley Green's gonna
be
show
here.
up. There's
And
no doubt.
my good friend Rich Rodriguez, he even come in and
I thought
you
they
know,
were here to see you and Eric.
that. Well, I was hoping they was, but hey, whatever it takes to get them
Hey,
here,
you got that right.
We're doing it. But
No doubt.
no, man, it's been amazing. I mean, like I said, our May the 21st was our grand opening day, and then we were open for business after that. Our main store is in Oxford, Alabama. That's
Okay.
where we started right after COVID. We bought a shopping center there in Oxford from a good friend of ours, and it just, I don't know. I had this vision that outdoor kitchens were going to be a thing of the future. And after COVID and the lockdown and people started cooking at home, I was getting calls, hey, I want to do something in my backyard. They were having neighbors over and cooking, and just, I thought this
That's
might be
awesome.
something big. And so we started it in Oxford, and it just exploded.
Well, I was going to ask you about that, and I'll save that for TV here in just a minute when we get the TV audience back with us. But yeah, I didn't know where it originated from,
That's
and
where it started.
that's really cool. And I want you to kind of go back and tell that story again for TV here in just a little bit. But guys, this store here on Lake Martin, I mean, basically we call anything around Lake Martin. And right outside the gates of Stillwater's, just a phenomenal facility. You come in and see examples of multiple style outdoor living space kitchens that you can come in and look at firsthand. And then, of course, you guys can custom build them, whatever anybody wants.
Exactly.
There's a beautiful one out there where
Yeah,
Riley was signing autographs
Exactly.
that day.
My wife calls that my billboard.
That's
So-
your bill. It's a
so
nice
that's
billboard.
That's our billboard.
Absolutely.
But so far it's worked.
It's really, really, really nice. And so we're here at Backyard Dreams, and we'll be back for TV here in just a minute. So everybody can kind of hang on. Just in the meantime, the products that they have, and we got 30 seconds, so I'll just wait. How about that? We'll get back and we'll just talk about all these great things. You got Tommy Bahama Outdoor Furniture, Castell, Polywood, Ashley Outdoor. Got an exclusive Poly line. here. You got cabinetry and countertops. She's got everything down here. And I wish I could just pack this one up behind me and load it up
Yeah.
on a trailer and take it
Hey,
with
we
me.
can make that happen.
I know you can.
That's our specialty.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. We're on location today here at Backyard Dreams on Lake Martin on Highway 49, just outside of Stillwaters. It has a Dayville address, but you go through Dayville and come down 49 and toward Blue Creek. And we're here, and here with Lynn Winfrey now. Lynn is the owner of Backyard Dreams. And Lynn, we were telling everybody this wasn't our first time. Today's not our first time here. Faith and I came for the grand opening, man. And when we pulled up in the parking lot, I was like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get up to the front door or not. But had a huge crowd here. And you just talked about it. Riley Green came and was part of this. And it was neat hearing your story with him just a minute ago. And now that we're back on live for TV, I want you to kind of tell that again. Riley Green coming here and been a part, but you've known him since he was a little kid.
Yeah, he was his dad and I and his uncle and his granddaddy Buford that taught him how to play and got him hooked on music. We all built houses together. Actually, Bo and I, his dad, we started. Riley was 3 years old, so you know he's been around the family pretty much his whole life. You know, and the things he has done for us has been amazing. I mean, just like I was telling you earlier, for our grand opening, you know, he left Nashville at 11 o'clock that night and drove all night just to be here for our grand opening, and then sit out there for 2 hours with a meet and greet. You know, and we had, they said we had close to 2,000 people.
There's no doubt there's no doubt. There was
it's pretty good to have that as a plug, to have, you know, have people, you know, why is Riley Green coming to Dayville, Alabama? Well, we're trying to get Backyard Dreams on the shorelines of Lake Martin. And that's a big plus to have him do what he does, along with my buddy Rich Rodriguez. He flew in for it. You know, it was a great day. You know, and I want to thank, first of all my staff. You know, my wife and I started this journey August will be 3 years in Oxford, and the outdoor kitchens just exploded. And we felt like a good friend of mine's building down here in Wicker Point, David Bonamy with AR Homes. He's been on me for over a year to bring what we offer to Lake Martin. And the lake's never had nothing like what we're trying to bring.
Right.
And what I like about it, and I was sharing with you earlier, you know, we custom build any outdoor kitchen that you can imagine. And some of the stuff that we built is on our kiosks up front. We can show the customers when they come in here. We have 5 different displays they can look at so they can see it. They're not looking in a book. They're looking at it.
I think that makes a huge difference when you can walk into a showroom instead of flipping through a catalog. You can walk up to what it looks like.
And that's why we want to be elite. You know,
right.
Adam, my general manager, says all the time, we want to be a step above everybody else. So we try to do something and offer something that nobody else offers. And that's the whole purpose of this showroom, is for people, Brett, can see what we offer. We're not telling them what we do. We're showing them in our showroom before we ever get in their backyard. And every dream's different. You know, I share this with all our employees all the time. Every customer that walks through that front door has a different dream.
Sure.
Every customer has a different vision. That's what makes this job so unique, is because we take their dream and turn it into reality in their backyard. And that's the fun part.
I was going to say, there's not a cookie cutter way to do this.
No.
I mean, everybody's got a different style that they like, maybe a different layout in their backyard.
Exactly.
So, Lynn, this is awesome, man. I mean, again, we're here today because we were so blown away at grand opening that we wanted to come back here.
Well, I appreciate it.
And really we did. And again, looked over this one behind us and all the different appliances on there that you can have, and you can add sinks in there. It's got a refrigerator. It's got all kind of stuff there. The brickwork is just gorgeous, and the granite countertop is awesome. And like you said, you can pick for different types of styles. Everybody's got what they like, and but a full line of grills in here. You got Green Eggs, you got Blaze, Fire Magic, Twin Eagles, Napoleon. You got about anything you want.
Yeah. And one thing, Brett, that's key that everybody needs to know, all of our stainless grills, you know, from our Twin Eagle to our Fire Magic, True Flame that you see here behind us, Blaze, the one outside, all our products have a lifetime warranty.
Lifetime.
And that's big. That's not through us. That's through the manufacturer. If they have a grill, I don't care if a flame tamer burns out or you know, anything besides like the light bulbs.
Right.
But we warranty these grills with the homeowner, and any problem they have with it, they call them and they will ship it right to their house. If they're not comfortable changing it out, they can contact us and we change it out. But that's one big thing that we try to offer with all our products is we want these things to last a lifetime.
Absolutely. Well, quality products and quality customer service, can't beat it. And Backyard Dreams down here in Dadeville, Alabama on Highway 49, just outside of Stillwater. Don't just hear us talk about it. Come check it out. Lynn, we appreciate you so much, my man.
Appreciate you
Yeah, you
having
got
y'all back.
Beautiful facility.
Well, thank you.
And,
Thank you. We appreciate it.
And hopefully this won't be our last time.
No,
back.
it won't be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Going to go ahead and take another break here for TV. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz coming up right after this. All right, brother.
Good deal.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
All right, everybody's still online. You need to come to Backyard Dreams. Seriously, man. This place is awesome. The cabinetry and the countertops. You got outdoor furniture.
I'll tell you
over
what
here.
we'll do. Let's make it fun.
Yep.
Anybody hears it right now,
Yep.
if they'll come in here today and say they heard it on Auburn Blitz,
Okay.
they'll leave here with a good-looking Backyard Dream koozie.
How about that? I'd take it. I'll take it.
Adam, grab me a couple of koozies. Let's
I heard it on Auburn Blitz.
He's
You want-
already
you
here.
Want a slim or a regular one? We got both.
Hey, I got me a hat, so
There you go.
I'm gonna be sporting this.
Look here.
So,
Anybody walks in,
Yeah, man.
They gonna leave here with a
how
good-looking.
do you not want that koozie, man?
Got the
Hey,
slim,
look,
we
I
got
know
the
what's going
regular.
on Lake Martin this weekend.
You're gonna need those kids.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say I'd just. Well, yeah, probably.
So
But
if they come
Uh,
in here and say they heard it on Auburn Blitz, they're gonna leave here with a nice-looking koozie.
that's exactly right. So come check it out. Lynn is awesome. Again, their customer service in here is wonderful, and the products, they speak for themselves. And it's just a great place. And make sure you come in. And got a koozie waiting on you if you say you came in and you heard it on Auburn Blitz. So come on, everybody. Come on down here. Check them out. And like I told everybody, if you just have a smidget of a thought that you want an outdoor kitchen, you need to come on down here.
We
Need
can
to come
hook
on
you up.
down here. Come on down here now. So, Lynn, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Hope
buddy.
everybody has a safe 4th and stay safe out there on the water. And we look forward to seeing you in our showroom.
Absolutely. There he is, Lynn Winfrey, guys, for Backyard Dreams. Again, we'll be here for about another 45 minutes or so, and then hopefully be back soon,
Good deal.
one day down the line.
All right.
So,
Thank
man,
you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Y'all have a good one.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. So you back, and then
Nice to meet you. Your store.
we'll get Faith back, then you, and then she'll come back to close it. Does that sound good? You good with that, brother? You gonna be poolside this weekend? Y'all been getting after it.
Don't even think about it.
Did you finish your email? You did finish it?
I'm gonna.
You hadn't seen it? Right, okay. Good deal. Need to look up here and see. Yeah, this outdoor kitchen back here, man, that thing is gorgeous, dude. Lapping up some water over there.
She's a hydrated girl.
That's right.
She's just like me. for real.
Takes after her mama, I can tell you that.
No kidding.
Definitely takes after her mom.
Her head is so big. She keeps getting cut.
She's like, you talking about my head?
Hold up there and meet them right quick, and then I'll.
We're in Backyard Dreams, everybody, here in Davil, Alabama. So make sure you check it out. We're on break for TV right now.
So this is Cincy Green. I mean, Pepper Tree.
This is Pepper Tree, and I'm about to go pick up some good stuff here in just a minute.
You going to Auburn?
Yeah, I actually have Kim's actually going to go down there and pick it up while we're doing it. So
Tiger tails?
I'm getting ribs and the Conecuh burgers and the steak burgers and the baked beans and the potato salad and all that stuff. So yeah, we knocking it out, brother.
She loves rib bones.
She does. Oh yeah, most dogs love a rib bone. See, Stephen Pearl wasn't a little excited to get to Hod back last night. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
they totally. I mean, the whole
His face lit up.
everything would be different if we had him. So we got about 20 seconds, everybody.
I think Jarvis is in the back.
Okay.
Just
I'll
let
get
him
it.
load him up.
Okay.
He's putting those ovens.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Halfway through our show, brought to you by Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and
Cincy Green for air that's cool and clean. Call on Cincy Green.
just to look over at Uncle T to make sure she's saying it right. But nothing makes face light up brighter than saying Cincy Green.
I
I
just
mean,
love it.
She
It's
loves the
like my
commercial. Like
favorite.
she just like the Cincy Green spokeswoman over here. So anyway,
I wish I had that honor.
yeah. Well, I mean, technically you are. You do it every day. So
I hope so.
unofficially official, right?
Definitely.
Okay. Halfway through our show, Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Look, I told everybody what I was going to do, and I'm living up to billing. We're getting ribs and all the fixings and getting the burger box that's going to have Conecuh and steak burgers in it. Man, I did it last year. I can't even begin to tell you how big a home run it was. Everybody's excited about it again this year. I know Andy did that as well. He'll be having Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine for 4th of July celebration. Can't beat it.
No, you can't beat it. And I had my Tiger Tails last week, and oh my gosh, I mean, they're just so good. You can't go wrong.
You can share with me, but it's all right.
I ate two
They
in
were
one night.
devoured.
Two in one night.
Devoured. So anyway, it's pretty easy to do. They're so good.
They're so good.
They're so good. Check out the Tiger Tails. Go to Pepper Tree Steaks and
Anything.
Wine and get all the fixings for your 4th of July celebration coming up tomorrow or over the weekend. Go ahead and pick that up. The ribs,
You can't
the
beat
Boston
those prices.
butt. You can't beat the prices at all. So we've said the prices for about 3 weeks now. So if you ain't heard the prices, that's your fault. They're good prices. Just go on down there and pick it up. All right, so we'll have Wade up here in just a little bit. I'm interested to hear his take on what you and I talked about. I want to shift away from football, talk a little bit about what Stephen Pearl talked about last night with the team. Talking about somebody's face lighting up when they brought up Todd Pettiford.
Mhm.
And, you know, the first couple of weeks without him, he said, was totally different than when he showed up after the combine and all that stuff and has been back. He is going to be he is by far the biggest difference maker maybe in this conference, and especially for this Auburn team with a brand new roster. But he said everything just totally changed when he got back out there.
Yeah, I think that was definitely comforting to hear too, just because I know everybody has been worried about having a whole new roster other than Tahad, and talking about too just the dynamic of the team, because when Stephen was saying that some people might be saying we don't have as hard of a schedule this year as we did last year, and he was saying, well, actually, because these guys have never played together,
Right.
it's gonna be just as hard of a schedule because they're not familiar with each other the way that this group, the group of guys last year have grown together.
Yeah, that was a veteran team. They
Yeah.
had a lot of chemistry.
Yeah,
Now you got a bunch of talented guys, but hadn't played together.
And
before.
that's pretty hard to bring a bunch of guys in and they've never played together and
Right.
playing in especially this conference of the SEC. We talk about how hard this
Right.
conference is in general. And so just it is going to be a big change for all of them.
You know, you talk about the philosophy of, you know, who they wanted to bring in and why they wanted to bring these guys in. But two that he continued to talk about, Keyshawn Hall and Keshawn Murphy, or Keyshawn Murphy and Keshawn Hall. Those two guys are definitely going to be, I'm not going to say the team's going to revolve around them because they're new and obviously Todd being the point guard, but you can tell how excited this coaching staff is about getting those two guys.
Yeah.
You know, Keyshawn Hall was one of the most highly touted guys in the portal coming from Central Florida. His offensive numbers are phenomenal. He wants to be a better defender, though. And you know, that's what Steven does. Steven works on the defensive side of the game. And he talked about that's been his mantra coming in is he wants to be a better defender. He wants to be a more complete player. The offensive game's there. On the flip side, Keyshawn Hall, big-time defender, good framework inside, wants to continue to increase his scoring production. And we saw that happen at Mississippi State. But those are two guys that they're really excited about is going to be on this team.
I think they're also just excited for everybody that they got and being able to work them all together. And actually, they're now able to kind of see what addition each kid can bring to the team,
Right.
And where their strong suits are. And just like you said, just he wants to learn more about the defensive side, and I think that's great that he can be that kind of addition too.
You know, you said something about trusting your coaches and trusting the administration in the first segment. Does anybody ever worry about the basketball program with Bruce Pearl? I mean, we're going to have a brand new team except for Todd Pettiford. Anybody worried that Auburn's not going to be competitive next year?
I'm excited about
I was going to say.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think there's any fans out there that go, oh, I can't, I don't know what we're going to do. We're having to start over. I think that shows you when you get a great coach in position, you can wipe out the whole team and almost start over from scratch, and your confidence level of being right back in the thick of things competing never changes.
I think some of it being the consistency that he's had,
Right.
And he's had the time to show what he can do with Auburn basketball, and it's been great, but I think that's where it's kind of been hard for some coaches in some other areas
Yeah.
of, well, we haven't been so consistent, but at the same time, I mean, if we're going to be honest, football, Hugh got it broken. Hugh had it
He
set
did.
behind.
Yeah.
So I think, this is the year that we're actually being able to put all of the trust in him because this is all his.
And,
Does that make sense?
it makes perfect sense because what I was about to say is if we get to the end of November and we're sitting there with 9 wins, everybody's going to be looking at everything completely different. Again, winning's going to cure everything. We know that. So, all right, we're up against another break here on the show. Again, here live on location at Backyard Dreams. Y'all come check them out. Stay tuned. More to come here on Auburn Blitz right after this.
I know.
I mean, it's your name. Right off the hat. You didn't know you owned a hat company, did you?
I know, but I did. I got some weights on.
Yep, Wade will be up next. So,
Yeah. I'm gonna hop on.
Take that wheel. It's got the QR code. It shows a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
the man with the plan is walking up now. That's what I'm talking about.
Hello, everybody.
He's back.
Back for more. Luke, are you there spying on us?
Is he hiding in the bushes? He probably is. Yeah, I can't wait to hear you.
Man, will you hand me my phone, please? Man, oh man, I'm gonna save it for live TV.
Are you? Okay, I'm fine with that. That's fine.
I think you gotta stick around just a few more minutes.
There you go. You know,
We might need another hour. Can we do another hour?
man, I'm up for whatever. Hey, we're about to lead into 4th of July, so
You know, it's maybe we'll go a little longer on the live.
we can.
I can get really
Yeah,
deep in the weeds. How about that?
we can. Ain't nothing like just torching everything. Just go ahead and burn it up.
Turn one of these burners on over here. This store is incredible.
Oh,
You are
it
in
is,
Lake
man.
Martin area.
This
You need
place
to come to
is-
Backyard Dreams just to check it out. I promise. I mean, once you get in here though, you're gonna be like me. Got a business card from them.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what
got
I
a
did.
pamphlet.
That's what I did.
My mind's just racing. Oh my gosh, if I could have this,
I
especially
just
this thing behind us. I've got the perfect spot for this built in.
see it's already ready.
Yeah. So they said they'd come down to Auburn and take care of it.
That's what I'm talking
know.
about.
I'm gonna leave here really broke over the holiday. Maybe as broke as our
Well, I mean, if you
maybe
got-
as broke as our football program.
Hmm.
Hey,
Hey, I will say this. Now, I knew the auctioneer Faith was gone already last night, and when they came into the big room and the auction started, so it's Stephen and Hugh and Andy Burcham and I don't know if Coach Thompson was still over there. I'm trying to remember if Coach Vickers had left, whatever. But anyway, they were talking about Bruce Pearl bidding on stuff last year in the auction and how he was already put up $2,500 towards something. And he was going to let Chuck, the auctioneer, buddy of mine, just pick what he wanted to put the $2,500 on to start the bid.
Okay.
He was talking about, and he's kidding around, whatever. And he's like, he said, Bruce, he was talking about how successful and all. And he's like, but Bruce brings the crowd. He said he taught for 38 of the 43 minutes last year. And, he helped me sell a bunch of stuff. And he said, we are a basketball school right now. He said, no offense, Coach Freeze, but he said, you got some work to do. And we all were like, good Lord.
Man, that's harsh.
And Coach Freeze
That's
was
a
just
little hard
like,
in the paint.
he was just laughing. That's Chuck though, man. If you know Chuck, he don't backpedal on much anything. He's a diehard Auburn fan.
Well,
So-
we need to stop this backpedaling.
Yeah, we're not defensive backs back here.
Yeah.
So we need to
Sounds like we've been doing a little backpedaling on the recruiting trail.
well.
And that needs to stop.
I just want your
You're gonna
honest
get it.
opinion. I know I'm about to. I'm revved up. If you say a flame come out of this green egg back here over here,
It's not that bad. I mean, some of the stuff that was said and commented on last night, I can.
Well, I
definitely-
said that at the start of the show. I can see I can see why they're concerned. I can see.
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of it, there was definitely some honesty in there, which I appreciate. I'm not real sure about one of the messages in there. I don't agree with. I'm tired of that mindset. This is a maximum yield mindset
There you go.
person right
There
here,
you go.
not a minimalist,
Yeah. Hey,
whatever that
if
means.
you're not living your life to the fullest, man, if you're not trying to go all out, what do you do? You only get one go at it, right?
You only die once.
That's right.
It's not you live every day.
How about that?
Can you
Deep,
feel it?
getting deep on the Auburn Blitz.
I'm ready.
here. All right.
Call me tomorrow about 4:00.
Well, welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz, live on location at Backyard Dreams. But again, we want to thank our partners here on the program, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and
For air that's cool and clean, get HVAC smart, baby. Call Sensagreen Heating, Cooling, Insulation. Can you feel it?
I can feel it.
That's right. And you're going to feel some cool, clean air if you
she's so
call
giddy.
us this
So
summer.
giddy. She's so giddy
I mean,
over
it's
there.
just, I love it. That's when you know your tagline is working.
Dang right.
So
There's proof.
it's going to be really hot. Hydrate over the holidays, and if you got any issues, give us a call at Sensagreen. We will take care of you. Lake Martin, Auburn, East Alabama, Huntsville, you name it, wherever you're watching, give us a ring. We'll try
You
and
guys
help you out.
already buzzing up and down the road around here.
Oh, full throttle, man. It's been, I think I got a little bit of, I'm a little worn down, got a little bit of a cold, summer cold. We've been going hard in the paint.
Don't be passing that off
It's
over
not
here.
COVID, okay?
It's not that bad. I'm just a little tired.
Well,
You-
it's just
y'all
one
are done.
I mean, it's just.
Yeah, we've been going hard in the paint.
Yeah, there you go.
The phone's been ringing.
All right. Well, let's talk about this. Again, Faith and I last night at Ambush, we heard it straight from John Cohen and Hugh Freeze and Butch Thompson and Stephen Pearl and Coach Vickers, from all of them, how this House settlement's going to affect Auburn. And, I think the biggest concern is I'm not concerned that Auburn's not going to follow the rules. I'm not concerned that everybody else out there in the free world's doing things nefariously. I think everybody's trying to compete. Let me just give that disclaimer. What I am concerned about is if we are trying to take that hard line of we got to do this, and
Right.
when have you ever had confidence that there is a governing body that's going to actually go out there and police and hold people accountable if they are? Now, let's just all quit being naive and not think that, people aren't going to cheat. I'm not saying Auburn is not going to cut corners. I mean, I'm not calling any particular university out. I'm just saying I think it's a little naive, and I think that some fans are worried, maybe a lot of fans are worried that, we're going to try to do it this way or say we're going to do it this way. And everybody else is going to say, well, catch me if you can. I just told Faith on the podcast this morning, all we're doing is bringing the McDonald's sacks back out into play.
One thing I do agree with them saying last night is that we're not going to promise X, Y, and Z and not have A, B, and C in the account to pay for it.
And I truly feel
I
that's
think
going on.
Oh, that's definitely going on, and I'm not naming schools, but USC has already been called out.
I mean, USC's got 25 or 8
last year that happened with them. So, and I appreciate that honesty. I think that it's very important for Auburn to maintain some integrity there, and just for any person. I mean, how would you feel if you've been promised some money and it was payday and they didn't have it and said, tough luck, sorry?
Well, didn't we see the UNLV quarterback sue?
Yeah, nobody. It's just not right, and so I'm fine with that. I don't like the approach of saying that we're doing it right and everybody else is doing it wrong. You're telling me that every law firm that works with every single Power 4 team that's kicking our butt in recruiting right now are doing it wrong, and our law firm is standalone doing it right, and they've broken it down, and we're going to take this hard outlier stance, and we're doing it right, but you're doing it wrong. I don't believe that. I do not believe that, and I think they're interpreting the rules wrong. I mean, I found multiple articles today where this is what he said last night, John Cohen. Let me illustrate. You have an $800,000 offer, and a school says we're going to give you $400 in revenue share, and we're going to give you $400 through a third party. I'm not 100% sure that everybody in the country is operating under that premise, which is reality. No, it's not, because you can still do NIL deals as long as the NIL
goes through the NIL.
Goes through the NIL
but what
and doesn't go through the as long as the university isn't giving NIL money specifically. An NIL group can give money to a player.
That's right.
And it has to be approved by the CSC.
By the NIL
It has to be a legit deal, and they establish a true market value for the player. So you can't just say, well, this guy's worth $25 million and he has to have and it has to be a legit deal. You've got to do something for it. You can't just show up, pick up a check, and on your way out, hey, you got to take out the trash for $1 million a year.
Right. He also said, if you give 400 and an outside party gives 400, that 400 counts toward the salary cap. That's what he said, though.
That's what he's saying, but I'm saying he's wrong. I'm saying that other schools are saying he's wrong, because other schools are paying NIL money.
Don't you think somebody needs to get some clarification on that?
I'm just telling you, I'm looking at this from some frequently asked questions about this on a website. Can you still get NIL outside money with revenue share? The answer is yes and no. NIL deals paid from a source outside of the school or third party does not count towards the revenue sharing cap, unless it's specifically an in-house NIL from the university. So Auburn has NIL in the university.
Right.
They're selling T-shirts that have someone's name on the back,
right.
William Andrews or whomever. Name just came to me. I don't know why. And say William Andrews gets a cut of that. Well, that does count towards the cap. That's how other schools are interpreting this. But if you've got On the Victory is not part of the university, Are you telling me on August 1 when the black box open up and the magic is shown and the black magic that Auburn hasn't been practicing is exposed that On the Victory's going away and all these other collectives?
No.
No.
I mean, the collectives are still
No.
there.
And so we've taken this hardline stance. This would have been a good moment, in my opinion, to be like, hey, we're going to stay inside the herd. There's safety in numbers. We're out there on an island. And that's why we're ranked 74th in recruiting right now to On 3 behind Toledo.
Well,
that should never happen in my lifetime.
Ever. I mean, the concern is, and I know we got to get to our break, and we got to get to break, but the point is, what you're saying is that, and I said this last night, and Faith knows I said this, Auburn is gambling on the way they're handling this. They're gambling that, like you said, when August comes and in December, there's going to be a bunch of schools that go, I don't have the money that I promised you.
Well, that's fine. I mean,
but let's again not be naive to think, are you going to turn somebody away? You don't think they're going to go out there and not find it if they need it?
I think they're gambling on the NCAA coming in and taking their stance opposed to every other school that brings in way more money together than Auburn does. And you're gambling with an organization to be your white knight that has never done Auburn hardly any favors. We're old enough to know that.
I don't think NCAA even really
or the CSC.
Yeah, I mean
the new white knight, the CSC.
That's what I'm saying.
They're going to come in on August 1st and say Auburn was right. Y'all are all wrong. Recruiting's back open up, and all these 5 stars are coming to Auburn.
Yeah,
You're taking.
You paint a picture that a lot of people feel like
I don't believe
is accurate. I mean, you're painting.
I think they're taking a real gamble.
I said it's a roll of the dice.
He said
it's a roll of the dice.
And someone asked him that, and he said, "We'll cross that mountain when we get there. If it goes bad for Auburn, they ain't gonna cross any mountain. They're gonna throw them off of it."
Yep, there you go. All right, up against the break here on the program. Stay tuned. A lot more to come right after this.
I think we just have to stay on.
Stay on.
I mean, I hate to be like how I'm being, but
I think
you're taking a real risk here.
I said it about as nicely as I could last night, didn't I? Your risk. I don't understand. Like again, there's something off there when you're looking at it one way and everybody else seems to be looking at it another. And I'm not saying that Auburn's the only school out there looking at it this way. There may be other schools out there. Now, common sense tells me when you're dealing with the money situation, there's only X number of dollars that you can spend on a salary cap. And yeah, all that outside stuff, collective and all, is supposed to be built in. I don't understand how we need clarification on if the outside funds.
It says right here, NIL deals paid from a source outside of the school or third party does not count towards the revenue sharing cap. Other funds distributed from student assistant funds or third party grants do not count and are exempt as well. However, if a player is receiving funds directly from a school for NIL purposes, that money will be counted against the benefits cap. That means to me, if you have an in-house NIL for your university and you're putting money, you can't double dip to over the cap.
It's a double.
But if there's an outside NIL, they have all the right in the world to hire someone to do legitimate work. And the CSC, the College Sports Commission, the new commission, has to approve it, and they have to determine through Deloitte whether or not that player is actually worth market value of what they're being paid.
Right.
And if they don't submit outside NIL and roll with it, they're cheating, wrong. They're in the wrong. Or if they submit it and they say, hey, Sedarian Morgan's only worth $200,000 and you're paying him $5,000, then you're going to get in trouble if you keep paying him $5,000.
Right.
That's how, this is just kind of common sense. I can read.
Well, I mean, I'll when we get back on air for TV, I'll read John Cohen's quote verbatim. I'll read it.
From what you just said to what he said.
It's not the same.
I was going to say, that's not what he said.
It's not
right?
anything close to it. So,
I'm just confused. Am I dumb?
No.
Is there, am I missing something?
No, I mean, I think we're all in the same boat here. I think we're all trying to figure out.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
I mean, maybe I'm way off base here, but that's the way I read it.
Read was just different from what we heard last night.
I mean, it didn't take many internet searches to get there either. I mean, and I've had to make some
Look,
phone
I said
calls
this-
today
I
and
said
talk to people who know way more than me, and that's what they told me. Some of these people are Auburn fans.
Well, let me just say this. He's paid to be the athletic director.
Right. It's his
I mean,
call.
he's paid to know the rules. And I really know what to say outside of that. I mean, everybody has a role, and your job is to know, and through your compliance and everything else, what's legal and what's not. Right?
I mean, the university compliance may have a completely different interpretation. Of
Quit
rules.
interpreting it.
So,
Let's quit interpreting it and figure out what really is.
I'm with
You know what I mean?
So if
I mean,
but if
why are we interpreting
if
anything?
compliance is telling the athletic director something and he goes against it, and it does,
Well,
and it is the truth.
Who can you go to clear it up? Is my guess. I mean, my question. Is it the CSC?
That's where I'd go.
Well, then that's what the phone. Pick the
I'd
phone
figure
up.
it out now.
If there's ambiguity there, go. I tell you what. Let me go figure out if this is right or not.
Let me tell you what I think is about to happen on August 1st is Auburn's going to get refunded for the fiscal year. It's just personal belief, and all this is going to go away. They'll know exactly how much money they have to work with.
All right. Ed said Wade, the realist, is right. Auburn has hired a University of Alabama attorney, and they are going to continue to get smoked in recruiting. Put yourself in Freeze's spot when your boss Cohen says we're going to do it this way.
If you don't agree with it and you have to follow protocol, what are you going to do?
I don't know what you do, man.
I mean, you put your game face on, and you got to be loyal to the people who sign your check. I mean, I agree with that.
Until they tell you to exit.
Until they, but don't let they're not going to make a living doing it this way when everyone else is doing it the other way. It's not going to work.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I heard what they said last night.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm confused.
Just stop.
I think I'm thinking too much.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. We got one segment left for TV here. Again, we're at Backyard Dreams, right outside of Stillwater's on Highway 49. This place is gorgeous, kind of going through. We had Lynn on, the owner, just a little bit ago. Grills and outdoor cooking. They got Blaze, Fire Magic, Twin Eagles, Big Green Egg, Napoleon, just a whole line of these grills in here to choose from. The outdoor furniture, Tommy Bahama, Castell, Pollywood, Ashley Outdoor. All of this furniture is just absolutely gorgeous. And the umbrella sets that they have up front, the cabinetry and countertops, the appliances for your outdoor kitchens. You can see the one behind me and Wade. I mean, I think Wade's taking this one out with him. I think he's going to pull a truck around back and haul it to Auburn. But all of this is just phenomenal. You need to come check out Backyard Dreams. We're glad to be here.
This furniture is super comfortable.
It is. Face,
sometimes
face
you
all
can-
chilled
you
out
can-
on the couch over
You can
there.
buy some furniture, like some old furniture,
So,
and it looks like it'd be really comfortable for outside, and then you
Right.
sit down in it and you're like, uh-oh.
I mean, but just look at the showroom back here.
It's amazing.
I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. So,
And a lot of these have warranties on them. To see
yeah.
on-
Well, lifetime warranty on all of this
Yeah.
here in the store.
Yeah.
They won't. I mean, how much better can you get on that?
That sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
And it sounds like a real good deal. So
I'll post some pictures on Instagram on the story.
I think
so
you should.
guys
I'll
can
keep.
come
I
look
mean,
at
we're
it.
all
great
we're all
idea.
talking here, so I'll kind of hog the last segment. I'll let Faith jump in with you on this one. I'll still give my commentary, but I mean, seriously, guys. I mean, we need to stop. Now, I really want to say this, and I know we only have like 3 minutes before we have to get off. We'll keep it going
Okay.
on the online side. Why are we using the word interpret? Shouldn't it be cut and dry on what it is you can and can't do? Right? To me, that's very risky to hang your program on. This is the way we interpret.
Faith, you go first.
Why are we finding out more and more every day and every hour? How I said Butch was saying he was calling, asking.
Right.
Why is there not just, this is what it is, this is how we're going to go about this, versus I have to keep calling and asking what is what is being either said now or what the new rules are, and because everything's changing so much. I'm with you. Why are we interpreting things, or why aren't we just being told this is what it is, this is how it's going to affect NIL, this is how it's going to affect each team, this is what we're going to use? I don't know.
Hey, guess what happens, guys, when something's up for debate and there's no set in stone pattern to follow? It's easier to ask forgiveness than it is permission.
I'm totally
Right.
with you on
I
that.
was literally thinking about your quote saying that because Auburn is following by the rules or whatever is being told right
They're
now.
saying
And
that,
all
yeah.
these other schools, they're just going to be asking for forgiveness, or it wasn't clear here or something like that.
Right.
Well, all these other schools may never have to ever ask for forgiveness
Right.
because they may be following the rules correctly, and we may not be.
And how
He
big-
says it himself. This is our interpretation. That is up for debate. I'm
So
telling you right now, if anything's up for debate, it's you better be. Well, if anything's not up for debate, it's you better be pushing the envelope
Yep.
and going as hard and fast as you possibly can to get as many players, both in high school and in the transfer portal, and however you got to get them to win national championships.
All right, guys, we got to get out for TV. We've enjoyed it. Again, have a fun and safe 4th of July. Be careful out there wherever it is that you are, and we will see you next week. For Wade and Faith, I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We'll be out. See you next time. All right, we can keep rolling.
So
I
there's $20.5 million given, and I was doing the math this morning for revenue share. Most schools are taking the model. They're going to take 70% of that and put it into football.
Right.
So there's $14 million.
70 or 80%.
$14 million roughly. At that point, Auburn's saying they cannot pay players more in the whole program than $14 million if they do 70%. That's what they're saying. That's what they said last night. That is
Right.
our cap. That is it. And every other school is saying pretty much that Auburn's a rival with is saying, thanks for the 14 and our outside NIL is going to pay that too.
Right.
Which one's going to be right? Which one's doing it right? According to Auburn, they're doing it right, and other teams are doing it wrong.
Well, we also don't know.
So what if they are doing it right, though? And
who?
what if Auburn is doing it right?
may
and then
be.
use it- But what
What's
if they
this
are?
penalty
Who's
that
going?
they keep saying?
Yeah, I don't
That's
even-
my
yeah,
other
That's where the
question.
specifics need to come in. All right, so you've documented that other teams are doing it wrong. Give specific instances. Turn it into the governing body and tell us exactly how you're doing it right, other than we're just doing it right and everyone else is doing it wrong. Right? I mean, so what are these penalties that you said we could really have harsh penalties? Well, what are they? There
That's what I
weren't
wanted
enough
to know
follow-up
last
questions.
night.
It was just too much. Okay, trust us. This is the deal. We're right. Everybody else is wrong. I cannot buy into that right now. Not when I see the way we're doing it, which is so-called right, and we're so far down in recruiting, but we have to just wait till August 1st. You'll see.
All right. Okay, I just Googled this. Now, again, very simple. Does NIL outside sources count toward the cap? The first thing that pops up is no. Generally, NIL deals paid from sources outside of the school or third parties do not count towards revenue sharing caps.
That's from AI, Google Gemini.
That's it. That's
So
right.
it's fact.
Oh, 100%.
I read
Right.
it on the internet. I mean, I'll say this. I agree with AI's interpretation and with everybody else's. Outside NIL,
But the point is,
if outside NIL were not allowed to operate how they've been operating, they would just go in-house. And if there was a strict cap, the NIL would be part of the athletic department and they would control the money, not the outside NIL.
the point
Does that make
is, you
sense?
cannot police or reprimand people for something that's not set in stone.
I don't know.
You can't you talking about. I agree with AI's interpretation. I agree with if everybody's interpreting this thing free willy nilly out here, then
How is anybody breaking the
how are
rules?
you going to punish them? All they can say is, "Well, man, I didn't know because they were doing it like this over here."
Faith, they keep talking about the McDonald's bags of cash. I don't even think that that's hardly even going on. I think it's outside NIL saying we're doing this right and here's your money. It's not Jeremy Pruitt's allegedly at Tennessee handing out $500 Big Macs. It's not like that. We are doing this right. Here's our NIL. Now, there are probably some people that are making some promises verbally that they're never going to be able to back out.
So
Back
bottom
up.
line
that
is,
happens every
so-
day in recruiting and
Right.
well,
always
let's
has.
talk about
Right.
it from an elementary standpoint. You're going to take the 20.5 million, you're going to give 14 million, let's just do hypothetical, toward your football program. Then anything above and beyond that's going to have to come from an outside source, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The rubber's hitting the road here where John Cohen's saying anything that comes in has to go toward that cap.
That's what we
Yes.
understood last
That's
time.
right. It's what we were told. Was what we it's
right.
on video.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
understood.
Yeah,
We're
you can
told,
you can
yes.
go watch the video. I mean, we're saying what he said. But in reality, if it doesn't count toward the cap, then people can go out there and they can go get as much money and fundraise these schools can, and they can have enough money to spend the 14 maybe on existing roster
And
and then
the
continue to,
additional,
that has to be how it is.
And I think that's what Auburn's waiting on them for August 1st.
Wait on August 1st for what?
I think that's when the fiscal year starts, and just like with that Nike stuff, and they're going to get a pile of cash, and then they'll know exactly what they can spend and what they can't spend.
so are they wrong for doing that?
No, they're not wrong for doing it, and I don't have a problem with it at all. The only thing I think that's wrong is saying that we're doing it right until then, and everybody else is doing it wrong. If my theory holds true, I don't like the everyone else cheats, we don't when we're losing. It comes across as old school Auburn fan from the 70s who always had to go around saying, well, at least we have class, and the buyer doesn't while we're getting beat 9 years in a row. It's like blaming the referees every time you lose a basketball game.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. I have a lot of respect for the fact that Auburn put a ridiculous amount of money into this year's roster because they have to win now. That cost a lot of money.
No,
And all you got to say is, we're a little tight right now. Just hold on. Promise we were going to
Well,
change
I
this.
was gonna
And I'd
say-
be like, there you go. Now that's true honesty.
Well,
and that's what I think.
we've said that. I mean,
That's
Auburn
what I
was
think.
behind the 8 ball.
Has been for years.
When you look at it, Faith, you said it in the first segment. Hugh inherited a dumpster fire, so it took a little bit extra to get it. We finally have a roster that can compete in the league, and it's
Right.
probably cost us a little bit more to get some of those players because we
Because
were
of-
so deficient.
Yeah,
Because
of
we had so
how
many leave.
bad it was.
But right.
Yep.
So you've had to go overboard a little bit just to get up to square.
Right.
And now you're not in a position to where you have a lot of excess where you can go out and continue to add more and more to it. You're having to wait until you show some results and then now build your war chest back up. Again, I
I have respect for that.
don't think people want to come out and ever say it that well because they don't want to say they don't want the perception or anybody to go out there and use that as MO saying, well, they don't have as much money.
They're broke. That's what
They
the
don't.
rivals
They
would
just
say.
don't want that out there.
So my theory is, and I'm just going to put it out there, is that basketball costs a pile of money now. That's
It does.
blatantly obvious. Baseball costs a
Steven
pile
said
of
it.
money now. That's blatantly obvious. You just don't get to keep all those young freshmen that almost got the College World Series without paying them.
Well,
But it costs even way more money than a roster should ever cost to put this roster together as quickly as they did from the black hole that they had to
Right.
dig themselves out of. And and a lot of people are tapped out right now, and they want to see, okay, let's see some results, and then we'll start throwing that money back in the
if you
NIL.
want a little bit of confidence,
And one more thing, I just have a sneaky feeling that a lot of this revenue share money comes down in August.
and it may do it. And
And that's why
That-
August 1st is this magic day.
Big day.
Yeah. And instead of saying, hey, we're tapped out right now, it's going to get better, trust us, they want to take the approach, well, we're doing it the right way and everybody else is doing it the wrong way. And because you don't want your rivals running around saying you're broke. They're not broke. They're just a little tight right now.
That's right.
If my theory holds true. And it's
yeah,
just a
it's like,
theory. I
it's
don't
like
know.
you're finishing a job and
But I
they're
don't
about to pay you. You're about
Yeah.
to get your big payday.
but I can't just go out and start making promises, which I respect right now, because we don't know exactly how much of this revenue we're going to get right now this season, and really how much more we may have to pay to keep the roster from leaving in the summer, because we have to win now.
Well,
and I've got respect for that.
you
But I
said
don't have respect for inferring that everybody else is a cheater and we're not.
it.
I don't like that.
But you said, keeping the roster intact.
He
is
said
main-
it last night.
is his main
So
concern.
there, ding, 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 ding. That roster is super expensive. It's a top 20 roster.
And it should be.
Phil still has us at 24. He's got Baylor at 15. It's going to be a whale of a game. Auburn needs to go out there and stomp a mud hole in the Bears and make a statement. And I promise you, we won't be having any more discussions about NIL.
Well, that's the deal.
Because that
it's-
money will start rolling in.
Well, it's time to just put up or shut up. All this doesn't mean anything if you can't make it happen on the field. Don't we say that all the
How
time?
long have we been saying that it's show me, we have to do this and we have to do that?
Months.
We've been saying
Years.
it for
2 years.
yes.
Really
2
start.
years.
Well, it started
We're not-
last football season.
But seriously, really started talking about how imperative it was in January for this season to win.
I agree with that.
We all have said, yeah, it's time to flip the page and let's start winning football games and let's not have a losing season anymore. But we're talking about not just to have 6 or 7 wins, 8, 9, 10 wins this year with this roster and this schedule. The schedule's not going to get any easier next year, Wade. The schedule's going to get hard.
Can I quote the great Randy Lee from last summer about
Great.
Peyton Thorne?
Why don't we
I'm
bring
show
him
me. I'm Missouri. Show me state. So some of the aspects of the program have been show me, put up or shut up, but now it's fully they have to
Look,
win now.
I said this the other day.
I don't think that's unfair either.
I think
Maybe it is. Maybe it's a little unfair. But in today's college football world, if you slip just a little, look at where we are recruiting, you go downhill really
Well,
quickly.
guess what?
So urgency is now. Win, win, win.
And look, rightfully or wrongfully, Coach Freeze chose to stick with Peyton Thorne instead of get a guy like Cam Ward that was available. They could have made all the difference in the world last year in probably 4 of those games.
We may not have the money to get him. Has anybody ever thought of that?
That's not what I was told, but we
So,
may not.
I mean, yeah.
Again, it's all speculative.
But it's all speculative, right? It's all theory.
But the fact
it's
that
all
some people out there said
interpreted.
But the
Can you feel it? It's interpreted.
But the fact that some people out there said that we didn't go after him is, come on, man. That's where did he finish?
There's number 1 draft pick.
Okay, well,
Got a rookie card worth
Just-
like $500.
just making sure. So, all right, that's going to wrap it up, guys. We are at Backyard Dreams again. Great place.
It's so beautiful.
It is.
Everyone can see.
Take it home, Faith. Here, all the great things that you can come in and.
Grills and outdoor cooking, outdoor furniture, like I'm sitting on right now. Very comfortable. Cabinetry and countertops. Turnkey outdoor kitchens. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
They're finished.
I mean,
They
look
design
at
it, come in
this.
here, build it. They walk out. You're ready to go.
wow. They have really good stuff.
They build, you chill.
Amen.
Another tagline
I
from the
was
great
going
one.
to say.
For air that's cool and clean.
All right, guys. Everybody say goodbye.
Where you go?
Everybody
Safe.
have a safe and happy 4th of July out there. And again, whether you're at the beach or on Lake Martin or wherever it is, you're traveling on the roads, be safe, be careful. We will be back with everybody on Saturday morning. Me and Randy will have Saturday Sports Countdown. Faith and I'll be back on Monday
We'll be
for
at Baumhauer's on Monday.
afternoon, Monday at lunch.
Yeah.
We'll be on the podcast during the day. Maybe even Wade comes out to Baumhauer's
Probably.
Monday. Probably.
Yay.
He knows how to find his way there. So I'm not even going to show my face. Everybody have a great rest of your day.
Happy 4th.
Where you go?
War Eagle, everybody.